Hi, I'm Kay from Grand Fete in Hudson, Wisconsin, and today we're bringing to you our first show of Tasting Life Together. When we first started our concept store, we had wanted to work with our customers to inspire them to cook, to create, and now we're connecting with you directly because we would like to bring the tools and the education together to you in your home so that you can use those to be inspired to make some of these great items that my friend Jessica Tierna is going to show you how to work with garlic naan, how to produce it from scratch. And I understand it is really, really good. So will you share this with me?
Absolutely.
I want to learn how to do it too.
Absolutely, Kay. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Again, you guys, I'm Jessica Tierna, Tierna Global Spices. I'm going to show you how to do a very quick 15-minute garlic naan. And the reason it's so quick, even though it is a leavened bread, it is used with self-rising flour. Now, self-rising flour is different from all-purpose flour because it has baking powder and salt added to it. So the first thing we're going to do is mix all the dry ingredients together, a very simple ingredient list, 8 to 10 ingredients, and we've got flour, okay? We've got baking powder, we've got salt, we've got pepper, sugar, a little bit of sugar. You can throw pepper in if you want. And then we're gonna do a teaspoon of the garam masala spice blend. And garam masala, if you guys didn't know, means hot mixture of spices, okay? And it's like a party in a jar, you guys. It's got so many aromatic flavors.
What is in that?
Yeah, so garam
masala
is different depending on where you go in the world. But this one contains all those bold flavors of things like nutmeg, mace, cardamom, star anise, cloves, coriander.
Oh my gosh, it smells so good.
Yeah, it almost smells like we're baking like a baked good, which we are. It's going to be a bread, a garlic naan.
So what else can you use it for?
So the garam masala can be used basically in any Indian dish, but you can just put it right over some scrambled eggs for breakfast in the morning. Throw it on some toast, some avocado toast as well. So once we have that all together, we're going to add all the dry ingredients have been added. And now very simply, we're going to add in one by one the wet ingredients. Okay, so we've got things like full fat yogurt. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add the full fat yogurt. We're going to make a well in the bowl here. Okay, make a little well. We're going to add all the wet ingredients in there. So we're going to add this full fat yogurt. You guys, please don't use a non-fat yogurt. Full fat's the best way to go because what happens, the acid in that full fat yogurt is going to react with the gluten in the flour and help it rise a little bit more significantly. Okay, so we've got the yogurt. We're going to add in 2 teaspoons of Grand Fete Chef Blend extra virgin olive oil, you guys. Okay, tell us a little bit about this olive oil.
Well, olive oil varies dramatically in flavors by what type of olives are actually used to produce the oil, what is crushed. Some of the olives have a very green taste to them. Others have buttery taste. Others have a little bit of a almost a peppery taste to them. The Chef's Blend is a very mild extra virgin olive oil, and it doesn't add any additional flavor, and so a lot of chefs do use it in their kitchen, and it's actually perfect for what Jessica is doing here because we don't want to take away from the flavor of what she's actually doing with the recipe itself. So it's perfect, and it's very light in consistency too. So
yeah, so you guys, Kay here at Grand Fete sells a lot of wonderful olive oils and vinegars. I buy her cherry balsamic vinegar here all the time. But yeah, Kay, you're very right in wanting to use some sort of a subtle oil. You don't want to use an extra, like a super extra virgin olive oil that's grassy. This is very neutral in flavor. Her flavor is very neutral. You can also use an Indian ghee, which is basically ghee is butter with the milk fat solids taken out. So what we want to do is we want to mix all those wet ingredients and dry ingredients together, you guys, until they turn into what looks like kind of a crumble here, almost like we're making an apple crisp. But they're all crumbled together. And the last piece we want to do is we want to make this a garlic naan, correct? So we're going to add some garlic. How I'm going to do that is I'm going to show you these two really cool tools that I like to use in my house. This is a garlic peeler, you guys. Okay, so you know how you have a clove of garlic, right? Clove of garlic, you're tearing it apart, you get all that skin off. You're going to throw this clove of garlic in this garlic peeler and you're just going to go like this. Okay? What that does is the silicone acts as a static electricity type, and all that skin falls off and separates the garlic from the peel. It's so cool.
That is so easy.
So neat. So I've done most of it already, but I'm just going to do two so you guys can see how cool that is, and see how most of that paper just sticks right inside that tube there. It's so, so cool.
If you've ever tried to peel the skin off with a knife, it's never that easy.
No, it's not. And
Never.
Kay and I have talked about that before, where the skins stick to your fingers, to the knife, and they get in your food. And so this is just a great way to keep that away. So now I'm going to use this really cool extraterrestrial looking tool. Again, Kay, this is where it's really cool to introduce the kids to the kitchen.
Called the Garlic Zoom.
It is the Garlic Zoom, and I'll show you why it's the Garlic Zoom. We're going to add a couple cloves of garlic.
You go zoom, zoom.
That's exactly right. So you put them in there and you just do this right against a hard surface, guys. You're just zooming it back and forth, okay? You can put up to 3, maybe 4 cloves of garlic in there.
Look at that.
Give it a couple taps. Flip it upside down. There you go. Look at that pile of garlic, you guys. That is so, so cool. So now we're going to need quite a bit of garlic for this recipe, Kay. I'm going to have you do a couple for me while I go ahead and finish off this recipe here.
All right.
So let's go ahead and close that up. Just so you guys know too, it's actually really, you can clean it really easily too. Just with a couple clicks, that blade pulls right out, okay? And then pop it right back in, even with the garlic in there still. So it's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat tool.
Okay.
So go ahead and do that. I'm gonna add the garlic right to this bowl.
I might have too many.
Go ahead and use this spot right here, Kay.
Okay.
There we go. While Kay's doing that, you guys, I'm just gonna make sure that all this dough gets together here, mixes in the wet and the dry ingredients. We wanna make sure that it doesn't stick to the sides of the bowl, and I wanna make sure I pick up all those crumbles on the bottom of the bowl, okay? So we're just squishing and turning and smashing, okay?
That's really easy.
So that tool is really cool because A, you can have the kids help out and they don't have to use an actual knife, and B, you can do several cloves at a time. So if a recipe calls for a bunch of cloves, you just go ahead and use that machine, right?
Yeah, this is great.
So now we've turned what we call turning the dough out, and so basically you're just dumping it out of a bowl is what that means. So we're gonna go ahead and start kneading it just a little bit. You don't have to knead it all that much, maybe about 5 minutes, you guys. And it's got just a couple, just 8 ingredients. It's so simple.
So while Jessica is kneading the dough, I just want to introduce you to the set that we've put together that includes everything that you need actually to make garlic naan in your home. It includes the garlic peeler, the garlic zoom, Jessica's garam masala spices, the basting brush, and as a special bonus, we have included a bottle of the Chef's Blend olive oil, because we think every home kitchen should have that, should have good olive oil. So everything comes together. It is $39.95 for the set, and you can go and on our website at grandfetshop.com and order this, and we also will have a link to Jessica's recipe so that you can make the garlic naan at home.
All right, so Kay, while you were talking about that amazing gift set, so it's basically a starter set for naan, guys. Just a quick starter set. Just a couple tools to get you started. And I just want to show you one more tool that I absolutely love to have in my kitchen. I have several of them. It's called a bench knife. And what it does is it cleans off your countertop. Okay, if you've ever worked with dough, you know how hard it is to get that flour and that dough off your counter. Look at that. It just cleans it right off there. And it's not sharp like a knife. It's just sharp enough to scrape, and it doesn't ruin your countertops. So it's pretty cool. So this is all set to go. You see how there's no dough left sticking on the counter? You're all set. We're gonna make it into just a quick little ball here. Okay, and we're gonna divide it into two. I've got my pan heating up on medium high right now. We're gonna go ahead and roll that out just like you would see in a restaurant, okay? This naan, just like you'd see in a restaurant. A little oblong in shape, not too long because you don't want it to be longer than the pan that you have. I recommend using a cast iron if you have it, but if you don't, doesn't matter. So we're gonna take a little bit of that garlic that we chopped up. We're gonna add some more of that right to this bread. Again, this is a garlic naan, guys, so we gotta have lots of garlic. And we're gonna top it with a little bit of cilantro here, or like I said, any herb that you want.
Now, do you always need to use fresh herbs or?
No, of course not.
Dried herbs
if all
would
you
work
have
as
dried
well.
herbs, go ahead. If you don't want to use any herbs, don't use any herbs. But this is garlic naan, so you probably should put some garlic on there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go on the medium-high pan. Okay, you're gonna hear that sizzle. All right, see that smoke, that sizzle? What's gonna happen now is the gluten in there is going to rise. It's gonna help that bread puff up, especially with that baking powder. So I use self-rising flour and baking powder. So you see it's kind of steaming, it's puffing up just a little bit here. We just wanna make sure. Oh yeah, it's good.
Oh, the smell is amazing.
We're gonna flip that over.
Oh, yum.
See how beautiful that is? And if you leave it on there a little
Gorgeous.
longer, you can get it a little bit darker, totally up to you. The recipe can be found on my website, jessicatiarena.com. And that is for 4 naan pieces of bread, 4 naan. So it doesn't take long. Once you've got it on this griddle, it doesn't stick. It's really awesome, you guys. It's gonna stay a little chewy on the inside, crispy on the outside. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off, and we're gonna flip that right onto. Okay, there we go. Just like that, guys. And we're gonna slice
like at
that
home.
into pieces. And this is gonna be really hot, okay? So please be careful.
This looks like a
Hot,
great
hot.
recipe that kids could do at home because there's only a few ingredients. It looks like fun.
Yeah,
And it would be something that they could make and share with their friends and family. Oh
It
my
is.
gosh. It
So here we
looks
go, and it is
amazing.
nice and warm. It's chewy on the inside, crispy on the outside. Ready?
Wow.
The garam,
Mm.
you can, all those
So
spices,
good.
the star anise, the black pepper, the cardamom, and the garlic. The garlic, because
The
there's so much
garlic
in
is
there.
amazing.
Fresh local garlic is what we use, but any kind of garlic is great.
So just as a reminder, we do have our set that is available that you can get with the addition of the olive oil. It would normally be about $49.95, but we are doing it as a special for $39.95, and it includes all the tools that you need to make this great bread. And it's fantastic. This is what tasting life together is all about.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me, Kay. Thank you for letting me taste life with you. I appreciate it. This has been a really great adventure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.